Welcome back, Local 870 with Kevin James here on 870 KRLA. On this Father's Day, a happy Father's Day to all the dads and granddads out there, and great-granddads. We are talking to Steve Cooley, the Los Angeles County District Attorney, who has agreed to spend the entire hour with us here in the studio. And Steve, a question that has been on the media's mind for a long time, and that is whether or not you'll seek a fourth term, and if not, what you think of the field that is lining up to replace you and to be the next district attorney in L.A. County. First of all, let's take first things first. Will you seek a historic fourth term to go on top of your historic third term for the office of district attorney?
I will complete my historic third term. You know, there's only been, I think, only two district attorneys in L.A. County history that have served 3 consecutive terms, and I will be one of those two. The last one was Buron Fitz, who was elected to his third historic term in 1936.
I was going to say, I don't remember that one.
You weren't around.
A little young, yeah.
At any rate, I'm going to complete my term. I'm going to keep working real hard the next 18 months or so. There's a lot of good things happening in the office. I want to keep that going. But I will not seek a fourth term. When I do complete this term, I will have had 4 decades of public service, 39 years of which were in the L.A. County DA's office. It's very important for me to leave the office in good shape and leave it in good hands. I'm pleased that there's a relatively large field that's been assembled, that has assembled to pursue this post. There's one person that I see as a standout in the field, and that's my Chief Deputy, Jackie Lacey. Absolutely the best qualified, most experienced, most suitable person for the job. And so I'm going to be doing my best to hopefully get her elected in due course. It's interesting to note, this is going to be a very unique election. It's been 46 years since there was not an incumbent running for district attorney. Now, some won, some lost. Gil Garcetti was an incumbent, he lost. Ira Reiner was an incumbent, he lost. Bob Villalobos was an incumbent, he lost. Others were elected to Attorney General, John Vandekamp, Evelyn Younger. Some died in office. Be that as it may, it's historic in the sense that for 46 years there's not been an incumbent running for the office of district attorney.
Wow.
And that means this is going to be a wide open race.
Right.
And there's lots of different people in the race who have different qualifications, experience levels, agendas, issues they want to talk about. And I think that's very, very healthy to have a full public discussion about the district attorney's office, its role, its priorities, and what its agenda should be for the future.
Well, and let me just add some of the names, and just to get your thoughts, Steve, because it is a growing field. I do think it is a qualified field, so I understand your comfort level with the people that have lined up. You mentioned Jacqueline Lacey, also in the race, who we know is in the race right now. We know that Deputy District Attorney Alan Jackson, there are 2 or 3 or 4 deputy DAs of note that are in the race. Alan Jackson is one of them. Also, in addition to Alan Jackson, Mario Trujillo is a Deputy District Attorney. And then there's the City Attorney, who is certainly someone who has gotten a great deal of media anticipation around his run. He has opened a committee. He has been less committal because he sat in the same chair you did that you're sitting in now. He sat in the same chair a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him about his run. And he has formed a committee. He is raising money, but he has not said for sure that he's in. So let's start with Carmen Trutanich, given that aspect of his potential for running. Do you think that Carmen is running, and what do you think of his candidacy?
Well, I do think he's running. He's making all the moves, making the rounds, and certainly out raising money and securing political advisors for a potential run. I think it's pretty obvious he is seriously considering it. I personally have urged him to remain as city attorney. That's what he promised me. Many others that he would complete his full term. I urge him to do that. He's done some pretty good work over there, especially in the civil side, defending the city, and I think he's well suited for that position, given his primary experience as a lawyer has been in the civil arena. You mentioned Alan Jackson.
Yes.
He's a terrific a trial prosecutor.
He's been on this show a couple of times, as has Carmen, as have you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're.
I make the rounds.
Yeah, you do. We make the rounds. At any rate, he's a fabulous prosecutor. Just came off another excellent prosecution involving the murder of a woman out in Century City. He was part of that trial team. He's got other successes under his belt.
Well known for the Phil Spector case.
Phil Spector, and he was a co-prosecutor there. He's co-prosecutor with Pat Dixon in the murder of Mickey and Trudy Thompson. They secured a conviction after 18 years after the incident. A very talented prosecutor. There's no doubt about that. And
Mario
Trujillo, good guy, very likable. And I think he's going to work hard, and he's got some issues he wants to promote. I think I've promoted Mario within the office, and I think he's done a very good job at the various positions he's been at.
So you're comfortable with the field?
I'm comfortable with those individuals, yes. I'm really most comfortable with Jackie Lacey. She's now my chief deputy. She's worked her way up from being the director of central operations, a director in specialized prosecutions. She was the assistant DA over line operations, supervising 500 lawyers, and the highest number of clerical in the office. Did an excellent job, and that's the reason she's my chief deputy. She's a 25-year veteran. She has the temperament. She has the knowledge. She has the experience, and she has the following. If you're going to be a leader in the LA County D's office, you need a following, and she has a following of people that admire her, not just for her great personality, but because she's so dedicated to the mission of the office.
Steve, what do you see as you're in your last 18 months of the office? What are the office's greatest challenges right now?
Well, the office's greatest challenges are probably those that relate to what the greatest challenges for law enforcement. One, the Plata decision, the release of potentially 40,000 appropriately convicted and incarcerated state prison inmates back to society. 13 to 14,000 will come to Los Angeles County. My office right now is drawing up sort of a blueprint. We're going to suggest to Governor Brown, the Department of Corrections people, how to manage that, because unfortunately, whether we agree with Plata or not, the Supreme Court decided it, we're going to have to come up with the best way to manage that population, track them, and hopefully keep them from committing additional crimes, although we won't totally succeed. I can predict that right now. Another challenge for all of law enforcement throughout the country is how do we deal with all the different kinds of electronic and computer crimes and identity theft perpetrated through various mechanisms. And then not just, and we have to be able to gather and process forensically in a timely manner digital evidence, whether it's from people's cell phones, their computers, their iPads, wherever it is.
Twitter account?
Twitter's, yeah, as Congressman Weiner found out.
Yes.
But as the result, and he didn't even do anything criminal. But,
no, but
stupid, but not
yeah.
criminal. At any rate, I see that as a challenge because there's not been the dedication in terms of creating the forensic labs that we need and training the law enforcement personnel who then have to investigate these crimes. And that there has to be a huge investment, just as we did with forensic sciences when DNA came along. We saw the potential. We invested in it and put money where our mouth was and train people. That's the next challenge is electronic computer crimes.
Our guest, the District Attorney of Los Angeles County, Steve Cooley, on this Father's Day. One final question. Steve is a, no secret, a big USC football fan, as am I. And Steve, does USC finish the season with the best record in the Pac-10?
I don't know.
I don't either.
No, but
I hope so.
But I hope so.
They can.
They can. They have the potential. They had a good season recruiting. Hopefully the fans will be out there cheering him on. So all I got to say is fight on.
Fight on. All right, our guest, Steve Cooley, on this Father's Day. Steve,